Um, Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel again. This is my first time streaming live on YouTube. So I hope this works out. So I realized that it's been a while since I made a chess video. So I'm going to do that now. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I played an online chess tournament recently, and played a couple of good games. So I would use this opportunity to go over one of my games. Um, okay, sorry for interruption. I was trying to figure out some technical details of YouTube. Not yeah, I'm still not used to to this whole streaming live thing yet. Okay, so without further ado, let's go into the game. So this is a game that I played maybe 2 weeks ago on chess.com in a tournament. So let me just pull up the screen so we can look at it together. Okay, so this is, I hope you can see the screen. This is a game I played against a player from Boise. This is a tournament that's organized by the Idaho Chess Association. Um, so I played white in this game, and it became this. It basically turned out to be a sort of Tarrasch Defense kind of game. So without further ado, let's launch into the game. So as white, I opened with d4, which is my usual opening, and then he responded with f6. Um, so I was trying to decide between playing c4 or something else. So I decided to try something a little bit more conservative and boring. So I went with knight f3. And then he responded with e6. I responded with e3. Um, okay, and then this is c5, and I responded with c4 to try to get some space. And then knight f6, knight c6. The computer doesn't seem to like this move very much. But anyway, I responded with knight c3, and then d5, and this is the Tarrasch defense. So I took c takes d5. He took back with the pawn from e6, and then I bishop e. This is bishop e2. Now my chess coach actually pointed out to me that instead of playing bishop e2, I can actually play bishop b5, and then follow up with follow up with queen a4, and queen a4 and knight e5 to put a lot of pressure on the c6 square. It should, I think with the benefit of post game analysis, I think that probably would have been a very interesting attack. And it probably would have gotten me the upper hand. But I didn't actually play that. So instead, I went with a much more conservative e2. Bishop e2, and then he responded with b6. Yeah, for some reason, the computer isn't a fan of b6 either. So I went with castling and bishop e7, and I went with this is b3, and he castled, and bishop b2. Okay, rook e8. I mean, all of this is fairly normal so far, and then a3. Now, computer doesn't like a3 very much, but I guess my purpose for playing a3 is a kind of prophylactic move. I wanted to stop his knight from coming down to b4 and causing some mischief. So and then he played bishop f5, and I responded with bishop d3. I would say that the position is kind of even right now, and queen d7, which is what he played, and I went with knight e2. So you might wonder why knight e2. What's the purpose behind that? The purpose is that I didn't think that my knight at c3 was doing very much. I mean, it wasn't really playing a very active role. So I thought that if I move my knight to e2, I would eventually be able to move it over to g3 and attack the bishop twice. And I think it's generally a good idea to bring more of your pieces to your opponent's king side if he's castled king side. That way I will have a much better chance of coming up with an attack on his king side. So what did he do? Oh, knight e4. So the knight e4, the computer doesn't like it very much, and I think that's because it looks interesting, but the knight on e4 isn't really doing, it's occupying space, but it isn't really doing all that much eventually. So I went with rook c1. The computer doesn't seem to like rook c1 very much either. But in any case, that was what I did. And then rook d8, queen c2. Okay, queen d6. I decided that taking is a good idea. Taking the pawn on c5 is a good idea because it opens up my dark square bishop, giving me control over the diagonal. And then he recaptures with the pawn on b6. Okay. Rook fd1, queen g6. Yeah. I kind of see what he's trying to do with queen g6. I mean, the idea perhaps is to follow up with something like a bishop h3. But it didn't turn out to be so all that effective because I just responded with knight f4. And then he moves his queen back to d6, which arguably loses him a tempo. And okay, queen e2. Okay, now this is where the game starts to get really interesting. Bishop f6, and then I decided to trade off the bishops. And he recaptures the queen. And what did I do at this point? I brought the bishop down here because, well, a pin is always a pin. And this is where it gets really interesting because he played knight c3, which I honestly did not see. So knight c3 basically forks it attacks three pieces at the same time. It attacks my queen, rook, and bishop all at the same time. So I honestly did not see this coming, but it turns out that I do have a response to this, which I only saw in the nick of time. And this was to give up my rook. Rook takes c3, queen takes, which looks okay. But then the problem is that it loses the knight on c6. And I'm not sure why exactly he did this because that just gives me the rook. And okay, now it looks like I should be winning, all other things being equal. And bishop b5, queen b5, attacking his rook. Rook d1, d8. And then I take, okay. Then I take again. And now this gets really interesting. So this is at this point I actually blundered because I did not see that my rook on d1 is hanging. So I played a h3, which is a horrible blunder, and he took rook check, and I escaped. Okay, so now I'm in some trouble, I think. But I played so he played rook c8, queen e7, and the computer says that he's winning, but we shall see. So queen a4 is computer doesn't like that move very much because I just get to attack his bishop again with my knight on e5, and I'm also threatening a check. Queen takes f7 check, and he made another mistake, so I was able to play queen takes f7 check, and then he did this. I don't think there's any other move, and now his next move was what totally destroyed him. Okay, I took with the knight first, and then he did this, which totally led to queen f8 checkmate, and that ends the game. So it's an interesting game. I think this is probably the first time I've lost a rook in a tournament game and still went on to win a game. I'm not advocating that you should go ahead and hang pieces, but maybe the moral of the story is that it's okay to hang pieces if you win the game in the end. So anyway, so that is that I thought I'll show you guys this game because it's quite interesting and instructive. Okay, so thank you so much. Till next time. Bye.